Nick, get to your picks. Thanks for joining us. One of them is Dine Global. Now, our viewers may not know the stock, but they know the main chains, Applebee's and IHOP. Are those franchised?
They're franchised, almost 100% franchised, Brian. Thanks for having me, first of all. And so, yeah, absolutely. Applebee's is comping 10% versus 2019, and IHOP is, during Q3 now, they're almost back to 2019 levels, with basically the late night, business being hobbled by lack of employees. And so, to me, looking forward, as that business comes back, as they gradually address the employee shortage situation. You've basically got, top line growth drivers here that should flow straight to the bottom line. And so you're not worried about inflation headwinds because it's almost 100% franchise.
Are you that convinced that the franchisees will be able to get the workers to make the comeback? Or, you can pay somebody $40 an hour, but then you're going to have to raise your chicken entree to $35.
Well, so that's the thing, right? If you're a franchisee, you're raising prices much more aggressively than if you're a company-owned model to protect your margins. And so, ironically, that's a good thing for the franchisor because you're basically taking the percentage from the top line. And so as the franchisees take pricing, there's more sales to take that percentage from.
Now let's move on to what has been hot, and that is fast food. We know, of course, some of these the only ones allowed to remain open during a lot of the lockdowns, particularly out west. And I always felt like Jack in the Box was kind of a sideways cannabis play, and I can leave our viewers to figure that out on their own. But you love Jack.
I love Jack. Look, they're one or two in terms of, their market positioning in the markets they're in versus McDonald's. Now they just made this acquisition of Del Taco, which I think was a very accretive acquisition. It's going to prove to be very accretive. So now you have two sort of regional brands that are poised to grow nationally with stellar same-store sales growth. And again, primarily franchise names. I think the company-owned side, in terms of the margin trajectory, is now baked into consensus estimates. I think the risk is minimal in terms of the downside. You've got plenty of free cash flow.
Yeah.
That'll basically flow back to shareholders through repurchases and dividends.
I had no idea they bought Del Taco, West Coast thing. All right, Nick, finally, Wendy's. I know this. Wendy's is going right after McDonald's. They're spending a lot of money marketing these new fries. They say never get cold, never get soggy. I know it's not exactly a super analytical approach, but they're spending a lot of money to try to take on McDonald's. You think it's going to work?
Look, I think they have one of the best management teams in the industry, and they've been able to do everything they've said they're going to do, including introduction of breakfast, right? So I think breakfast is going to be a big deal in 22 as the world slowly normalizes, and absolutely, I think they're in a position to continue to take market share. So I really like Wendy's here at these valuations.